and they're ready for him. So here we go. I wanted to ask you, Shogun, what is your soccer team that you root for? El Mafioso in the chat wants to know what's the soccer team you root for in Brazil or anywhere else in the world.
I like Curitiba Football Club is my team in my city, and I love football. I love soccer.
Can you play?
A little bit. No, only fight now. Mas eu sempre vou no estádio.
Yeah, but Shogun used to be a good soccer player when he was a kid, and he goes to the stadiums to support his team every weekend. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. He loves it.
Is he a hooligan?
No, but você é hooligan de torcida organizada?
Não, eu vou lá pra torcer mesmo.
No, he is there just to support his team, yeah.
Okay, and what position did he play when he played soccer?
Quando você jogava, que era guri, jogava em
Meio de
posição?
campo.
Midfielder.
Midfield?
Yeah.
Okay, you can bend it like Beckham?
Você pode lançar que nem o Beckham?
Quase.
Almost.
Almost? All right, and then Fish wants to know, would it feel better to beat an old Brazilian top team member because of the former rivalry, or is the beef squashed?
Se sentiria bem de ganhar de um antigo membro do Brazilian Top Team por causa da rivalidade da época, ou essa rivalidade não existe mais?
Não, hoje não existe mais. Hoje, na época, existia. E eu apontaria a BTT antigamente como minha maior motivação, né? Hoje em dia não tem nada a ver mais. A gente é profissional, todo mundo tem contato e eu luto por profissionalismo mesmo. Hoje não tem mais essa rixa que tinha antigamente.
No, not at all. Actually, the rivalry doesn't exist anymore, and the sport is very professional. I fight as a professional for professional reasons, and there's really no beef and no reason to really fight them other than professional reasons if it happens. And back in the past, I would say that the Brazilian top team was my biggest source of motivation, you know. But nowadays, we're all professionals, and there is no such thing.
Okay, Kane the Bull says, is he concerned with ring rust? Well, I guess before we answer that question, on this show in the last few months, a topic came up of ring rust, how after 9 months, somebody did some statistics, and it showed that a lot of fighters were coming out on the losing end when, not all, but a majority. And it seemed like ring rust was possibly a factor. Is he concerned with that? And I guess even further into it, Eduardo, when can we expect the champion back? We've heard May, we've heard March, and we've heard summer of 2011.
Okay, let me start with Shogun. Perguntou que ainda está preocupado um pouco com a questão de você voltar enferrujado, ring rust, de você estar de repente fora de ritmo, porque um cara que veio aqui mostrou um estudo uma vez que atletas que ficam mais de 9 meses sem lutar, muitas vezes acabam, na maioria dos casos, acabam voltando mal e perdendo, etc. Se isso é uma preocupação ou não que você tem?
Não, porque eu confio no meu potencial, eu confio em mim. E se ele analisar a minha luta com o Lyoto, da primeira para a segunda, vai dar o mesmo tempo praticamente. Eu vou ficar 2 meses a mais só, sem lutar. Então, ele não vai ser problema, eu tenho certeza.
No, actually, I'm not really concerned about ring rust or anything like that, because I'm gonna do my best, train hard, I'm gonna be well prepared. And if you come to think of it and you analyze, you see that in between the first Machida fight and the second Machida fight, there was a big time span, and it's almost the same as it'll be now. I mean, only like 2 months more this time, whatever, and it didn't hurt me at all. I came back good, so it doesn't really concern me at all, the ring rust. And getting back to your question to me regarding his next fight, well, I would tell you that he is now ready to train hard. We are developing his camp. We are in talks with the UFC. Like Shogun said, we're going to be deciding with Lorenzo and Dana the date of his next fight. It's not something that is set yet, so until it's set, it's tough to really anticipate anything. The only thing that we can say is that he'll be ready, he'll be prepared. He's going to fight as soon as the UFC, the UFC, and the training camp that you want to put to him come into terms, you know what I mean? Like what's best for the UFC, which I'm sure is the fans' biggest interest, and what's possible for us, because what the UFC wants, they have been great, giving us a lot of support, and what they want from him is to have him ready, 100% prepared, because we want to get the fans to have a great showing. We don't want a Shogun coming into the ring halfway prepared, you know what I mean? And the UFC has been a great support. They understand the amount of talent and future, because Shogun is still a young guy that he has ahead of him. excitement that he presents when he fights, and it's a matter of getting him properly ready. I mean, I understand you didn't address it, but I will. I understand Rashad's frustrations when he gives out his interviews saying, "Oh, I want to fight. When I'm fighting, I want a belt. The belt means nothing, yada yada." But I mean, our job is to get Shogun ready. You know what I mean? It's not really to cater to Rashad's interest, and I think pretty soon, in maybe 2 weeks' time, like Shogun said, we're gonna have this set in between us and the UFC, and then everybody will know. But he's eager. He's training hard. He wants to fight, and you can be sure that when he steps into the octagon to defend his belt, he's gonna do it in the proper condition, and he's gonna defend his belt.
Okay, I'm not saying the UFC needs you by March, but could he be ready by March if that's when they asked him?
Yeah, very possibly, yeah.
Okay. Well, then that answers the rest of the questions. Because then we know he'd be ready for May in the summer or whatever. So, yeah, like we said, we're all big fans of Shogun, and, you know, those title defenses are so epic. So, but you're right, we want him back at 100%.
That's the thing. And obviously, I mean, Rashad made a choice to wait and to fight for the belt. As we heard and we read through Dana's comments, they offered him a fight September, November, whatever, and he didn't take it. I mean, it's his choice. It's his thing, and I think he's right. I mean, fighting for the belt is a great opportunity, but it was his choice to wait. Our duty is to get him ready. You know what I mean? And to have the proper timing for the proper fight, because that's what the fans want. And I'm sure Rashad will want to fight the best Shogun that he can fight, so he can really feel as a fighter that he earned. You know.
If he stays healthy throughout the year, win or lose, would he want to have 3 or 4 fights, you know, in a 12-month span to maybe make up for a little bit of the inactivity of the past few years due to the injuries?
Yeah, not really because of the lack of activity or the injuries or whatever, but Shogun always tells me that he likes to fight at least 3 times a year, because it's what he likes. Yeah. It's his thing. It gets the rhythm flowing, you know, and it's something that we really discuss. I'm gonna even talk to him right now. Ele tá falando sobre você lutar quantas vezes no ano, e eu falei que é uma coisa que você se sente bem lutando 3 vezes no ano, que você gosta, que a gente até conversou esses tempos, se você quiser inclusive falar sobre isso.
Eu acho que eu gosto de fazer tudo no ano. Acho que meu objetivo todo ano é esse.
Yeah, I like to do 3 fights per year at least, and that's my goal every year.
Okay, like I stated before the commercial, there's 2 sides to a story, and one time I asked Wanderlei Silva with one of the interviews that we had, who would you ever not fight, you know, and he said, Shogun's like my brother, I would never fight him. But then he said, you know, but however, we've had great sparring sessions, and then he said, hey, would you like to hear a story? And he mentioned about Shogun, I believe, had a couple dogs, and Wanderlei, I guess he stated, you know, Wanderlei, would you like one? And he said, okay, and then later on, Mauricio said, well, hold on a second. There's going to be a fee that comes along with that. And Wanderlei said, well, how about we spar? And then Wanderlei basically said there was no fee after the sparring session, because I guess they made a bet, you know. So, anyway, 2 sides to the story. Can Mauricio tell his side?
Yeah, ele falou que o Wanderlei esteve aqui, eles conversaram, e o Wanderlei...
tudo mentira. O Wanderlei é mentiroso, fica inventando as coisas.
No, this is all a big lie. Wanderlei is a big liar and keeps making things up. That's what he is.
So, the sparring session never happened? The dog never happened?
Então, o sparring nunca aconteceu, o cachorro nunca... O que nunca aconteceu?
O sparring a gente fazia direto. E o cachorro até hoje ele me deve. Porque eu ia vender na época eu não tinha muito dinheiro, né? Então daí vendi pra ele, mas ele me deu calote. Mas agora eu tô bem de grana, tô tranquilo. Nem quero mais, eu dei pra ele presente pra ele. Você tá que dei um pra ele e um pro Cristiano na época, né? E o Vanek me deu calote, mas esse negócio de nocaute é migué pra não me pagar.
No, actually we sparred all the time as training partners, but there was no bet. I mean, I sold him a dog because back then I didn't have money. I needed the money, so I sold him a dog, and he never paid me. He never paid me, and I sold 2 dogs, one to him and another to Cristiano Marcelo, who was the BJJ coach of Shoot Box. Right. And Wanderlei never paid me, and this knockout story is just a BS not to pay me, you know, like a made-up story and all that.
Okay, but Wanderlei does have a dog now.
Mas o Wanderlei tem o teu cachorro até hoje?
Acho que tem, sei lá.
I don't know.
Wanderlei has money now, he should pay, right?
Yeah, Wanderlei.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, actually, he said that...
he's a tightwad.
Yeah, that.
Because in Spanish we say codo, so I imagine it's something similar, right?
Yeah, mas eu até fiquei surpreso, porque o Wanderlei pagou o jantar anteontem pra nós. Então.
Yeah, but like he said, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe Wanderlei has the dog still. I have no idea, but Wanderlei it's kind of cheap. But I even got surprised. He said because after the awards, Wanderlei paid us dinner, so I got very surprised because it was not his habit, you know, like.
Okay.
There you have it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like you said, there we have it. One other thing, I don't know if you ever heard, but I remember, again, Wanderlei puts out a lot of video, and I was wondering if he ever saw when Wanderlei stated that he considered Shogun his hero, and if that was touching to him.
Yeah. Foi que o Wanderlei tem feito muitos vídeos, você viu o vídeo que o Wanderlei fala que ele considerava você o herói dele e tudo mais. Se você viu, se foi emocionante.
Eu fiquei muito feliz, eu vi o vídeo sim. E eu fui uma pessoa que sempre cresci vendo o Wanderlei sendo campeão, né? Quando eu entrei na academia, eu sempre queria chegar onde ele estava e sempre tive o sonho de ser que nem ele, né? Então, com certeza, eu fico muito feliz por isso e o Wanderlei foi um cara que ele levou no MMA lá em cima, né? Então ele é um dos responsáveis por dar essa alavanca no MMA mundial.
Yeah, actually I saw that video and I got very happy because Wanderlei was always someone that I looked out for when I got into the gym and to the team to train. Wanderlei was already a champion and someone that I inspired myself with, that I really had as a role model. And Wanderlei was such an important guy for MMA. He was one of the guys that helped to really make the sport grow, get to the level that it was. So for me it was very special to see the video and see him saying that.
In 2005, what would have happened if they both advanced to the final?
O que aconteceria no GP se vocês dois tivessem chegado na final em 2005?
Nós iríamos lutar. Isso era o combinado nosso, sair no soco.
They would fight. That was the agreement that they had. They would fight for real.
100%?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Foot stomps, kicks, everything.
Stomp maybe. But punch and kick, yeah.
Do you miss that? Do you miss the foot stomps and the kicks?
Because in shoot box, the training is very, very similar. Fight professional.
The practice is like the fight.
Yeah. A única diferença é que não tinha câmera e o público, né? Mas o treinamento era muito intenso, muito perto da realidade.
Yeah, the only difference the shoot box training between the training and the fights themselves was that there was no camera crew and no audience, but the training was as close to reality as it could get. So I mean, it wouldn't be that different to fight. E ele perguntou para você se você sente falta dos pisões e dos tiros de meta.
Sinto. I hope on time in the UFC possible stumps.
Stumps and kicks to the head.
Yeah.
Você tem saudades?
But this elbows is more dangerous.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And what about knees to the head on the ground?
Joelhada na cabeça no chão.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But no elbows.
No elbows. Elbows is corta.
Open cuts too easily the elbows.
É bem mais perigoso que pisão e
it's even much more dangerous than the stomps or the soccer kicks or this or that.
All right, Juan in California, Daniel in Canada. I'll get to you in just 1 second. The last thing I'll ask you, and then the rest it'll be up to the fans, is before his fight in Montreal, I believe I saw it was a countdown show, or maybe it was just a video of, maybe it was you, Eduardo, that advised Shogun to pull himself away from Curitiba and have his training camp in Sao Paulo.
That was against Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, the fight in Montreal, correct?
Yeah, the first one.
The first one. And what I noticed, when he weighed in, he was very lean. And the subsequent fights that he had against Lyoto, especially the second one, he came in not as lean. And those were ones where he elected to stay in Curitiba. Did it go back to what he said earlier in the interview, where that he's a family guy, he loves his city, and he just doesn't get to pull away, and maybe, he just didn't get to that level of, I guess...
No, the thing is that each fight is a different fight. And back then, after the Coleman fight, we had little time to prepare for the Chuck Liddell fight. And UDL, not the team, but the gym, the actual gym with the students and all that, was going through an ownership change. So the structure wasn't ready for a training camp, and we had to come up with a solution as fast as possible. We had no time to really... we had to rush a decision. So we decided, we spoke, we decided we had some good trainers in São Paulo, we decided to go there. Some guys from Curitiba were brought there, like Paulo Tuba. He was one of the guys that moved with Shogun to São Paulo and stayed there through the whole training. And we did that.